Alrighty, today I'm going to be showing you how to cut out and glue together this particular template. So the first thing that you are going to need to do is gather your materials. So you are going to need scissors and glue. We won't need the glue right away yet, so put that off to the side. The first thing you're going to do for this particular template is very carefully cut around the entire outside of this shape. Now, we want to make sure that we are not cutting in between any of these. These stay together. It will be very bad if you cut out in between here. So we just need to cut out the outside template so it looks like this. The next thing we need to do is start folding. So we are going to fold all of these lines here. So I'm going to start by folding, we're going to fold them to the outside. So I'm going to actually flip mine over and start by folding this first up. So we want to make sure we are folding this to where our design is on the outside. Next up, I'm going to fold this. Making sure we're doing careful. That one was kind of lopsided, so I might redo that. Making sure we're folding it very carefully. It would be sad to do all of that hard work just to mess it up in the folding process. We do not want to do that. So once I have the building folded, you can kind of start to see how this is going to come to be folded together eventually. The next thing we're going to do, fold these two flaps up. So I'm going to flip it, fold these two flaps up like so. Then we're going to fold these two flaps up. Notice how I'm taking my time, making sure all my stuff is how it needs to be. Alrighty, so now that we have those initial folds made, we are now ready to start folding in these extra flappy areas. These flaps are going to be where we are gluing our pieces together. So I'm going to start over here and I'm going to fold this flap up. So everything is getting folded up in this template. Or down, depending on which way you're looking at it, I guess. I think it's easier to flip it upside down, though, and then fold it up. But that is a personal preference. This one's kind of tricky because it's at an angle. Make sure that you're folding these not in a way that's going to make them rip. That would be very sad. Alrighty, so we have all of our folds. Oh no, I forgot these two. Wait, did I already do those? No. Taking our time, folding them very nicely. Boom. Okay, now we are ready to start gluing. So we're gonna fold this around. The very first one that we are going to glue is we are going to glue this side to this side. So these two ends are going to come together like so. Now, when I am gluing, I am not going to glue a giant glob. Instead, I'm going to try to get a consistent, fine line. So I have my glue on there, then I'm going to bring this up and I'm going to hold this in place for at least 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Making sure I'm pressing down on those two objects to make sure they actually glue together. Alrighty, up next we have this piece. so this part is kind of confusing. So basically what's going to happen, let me grab my example. So this is what it's going to end up looking like. So we have to fold this square piece to line up with this fold. So we're going to glue this fold to this square, like so. Then we're going to fold this, and it's going to end up looking like that. So you kind of have to, right now it looks like that. You're going to kind of have to force it together like so and glue it at the same time. So my suggestion would be to start with this square. Find the fold on the bottom underneath of the square. Add glue to that fold. Just a little, don't need a lot. Then, oops, push that square to attach to that folded part. If you need to go like into there to kind of hold it together for 5 seconds, make sure it actually glues, like so. Now, this triangle, I'm gonna, well actually let's finish out this square first. So I'm gonna fold, or not fold, I'm gonna glue this flap to this side. So very carefully adding my glue and pushing that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Awesome. And see, mine even came apart, so you might have to hold it even longer. Alrighty, once that is glued, then you are going to put glue on this flap and this bottom flap to kind of get those together like this. This part might be a little bit tricky and you might have to play around with it a little bit. You might have to reach inside from the other side, because I think the goal is for this flap to attach to the inside of this square. So you might have to reach from this side up in there to kind of get it until it's correctly glued into place. I'm just holding this to make sure it glues all the way. Perfect, and then we have our one side completed. Now on the other side, we are going to do the same exact thing. So I would maybe fold this out of the way, that triangle part a little bit, because we'll have to glue this flap to the triangle. The square. We'll fold it like that, boom, glue it. Then we'll fold this part down, boom, we'll have to glue it. So that is what it will end up like. Your house will end up looking like this.